Tubers, Tibets, and of course, crazy people. This is going to be video number 2 about my little house build and giving you an update. So in this video, you're going to see the progress, number 1, that's been made. Number 2, some changes that we've decided to make. And number 3 is why we're planning something now that won't take place for at least another 6 or 7 months. So hang in there if you so desire, and we'll go over our little house build update. Okay, here we go. Okay, so in just a second, I'm going to be showing you a clip of the property, and I'm also showing you a small discussion that I'm having with my friend Jim, who is out doing, of all things, testing the soil. Why is he testing the soil, you say? Well, he's testing the soil because I expressed to him that I wanted to grow corn, of all things, in my backyard. I just have an affinity for corn. I could go into long stories about my childhood and my grandpa's farm, but I'll spare you. Anyway, unbeknownst to me, my friend Jim is an expert in crop yield, strip irrigation, fertilizer, and he actually can test soil. He's done it before for other folks. He does it for himself. And he came out to the property, and I filmed this, of him taking soil samples. And he's going to be sending them off to Cebu to have them tested and get some feedback as to what nutrients may or may not be missing or needed in the soil. Why are we doing that now? 6 months, 7 months before we get into landscaping. Well, if you've ever been to the Philippines, you find out that everything takes time. Just before I filmed this, I got a message from him, and he said the places that he checked here locally about being able to supply what might be needed don't have a clue as to what he's talking about. So we also know it's going to take several months to get the soil sample back after he sends it. And then once he sends it and we know what we need, we know we're going to have to go and shop and shop and shop and try to find any of these nitrogen or bone meal or whatever the hell it is that we might need to rototill or put into the soil so that we have a nice crop of corn. And he also has volunteered. He said he's got over a pound of really nice sweet corn seed at his house, and he's willing to give me half of it to get me started. So that's one element of it. And I also want to just kind of give you an idea of sort of kind of the layout. And also we've decided to remove some palm trees. But unfortunately, we decided that after they moved the little bobcat off the property. So it has been raining like crazy. There hasn't been a lot of activity recently at my place or any others that aren't working indoors. But anyway, coming up is going to be the clip. In this clip, you're going to meet my friend who's going to give you a little breakdown on what he's doing with the soil. I'm going to give you a little tour of the lot and how it's been marked out. And then I'll come back on after that and we'll close this thing up. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is my friend
Jim Hunt.
Jim Hunt. Now what are you doing here, Jim?
We're just taking some soil samples, so when you plant your garden here, we have an idea of what you need for nutrients to maximize your crop yield, basically. So we're going to do some sampling. I've already pulled some soil from basically the first foot. Some of it I got from one of the holes from one of the coconut trees over there, and then I took samples a couple other places, just 4 to 6 inches down. And then I'm going to take a sample from 1 foot to 2 feet, again over there where they pulled a tree out, just because I have an inadequate shovel to do that.
Gotcha.
We're going to kind of mix the samples up from the one foot level, and then I think the max amount they allow at the Philippine Department of Agriculture is a 1 pound sample. So we'll take that to the office. It's near the port in Dumaguete, and they'll send it off to Cebu to the lab and have it analyzed. They'll look for macronutrients and micronutrients. Macros, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, micronutrients, oh my God, the list is long. Zinc, boron, and several others, probably 8 or 10. And then the other thing they'll check is organic matter. So here the organic matter is going to be good because it's been in coconuts, and it's had grass and stuff growing every year and decaying and getting tramped in and worked in. So the organic matter typically in fairly level ground in the tropics is pretty high, and there's no question this is going to be high. I took a sample for a friend up by Appalong on a steep hillside, and it was just sand.
Yeah.
6 feet deep. It was sand. The organic matter was maybe 2 inches
Yeah,
deep,
it's
and that
brutal
was
up in Appalong because that's
Yeah.
where I live now. We can't grow nothing.
Yeah.
But my father-in-law, May's father, came out here, and he was a farmer all of his life up in the hills.
Yeah.
And he got out and tasted the dirt.
Yeah.
And
I
he
probably
said,
wouldn't do that.
This is good stuff,
Yeah,
right
it
here.
is. No
And so
question.
I'm gonna let Jim do his thing. He's gonna dig some more samples for us, and that way, when we finally get to the point where we can make a little garden here in our little house project, Jim's gonna be instrumental in helping us get the right soil mixture, so as we want to get a cornfield going and all kinds of stuff. And as a quick little update for you guys, this is where the backyard is going to be. And right now they've got the stumps pulled out of a bunch of coconut trees. We have these coconut trees that we were originally going to keep, and we've decided to go ahead and yank them. And the contractor said, yep, no problem. Because they take them, they cut them, and they can actually use them. They have value. These trees have value just because they can get wood boards out of them. So anyway, and then if you see these yellow lines here, they've begun to mark off different sections of the property as to what room will be where. And I haven't figured it out, but when I get up here with the contractor sometime in the near future, right now it's raining and I'm not using a microphone because the electronics get funky. But there goes Jim, and there's a little coconut tree we're going to say goodbye to, and then there's one of my friendly neighbors and another friendly neighbor, and then there's in the silver van over there in the background is the world famous Monte crew who wanted to come out and see the property. All right, kids, well, that's this section of this video. There are some lines that have been drawn, and they are sketching out or giving parameters of walls that are going to be put up. And there's Jim in a hole taking my soil samples. All right, that's it for this little clip. All right, so that's my little clip of the house update. I tried to keep it short and sweet and simple and to the point. How many of these updates I'll be doing is going to be dictated pretty much by the weather and availability and all that. And it was a little unfair of May and I to change our minds after the fact, but I talked to the foreman. He was totally cool with it. He says, yes, we'll make it happen. We'll get it done. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys for hanging in there and watching this. Hopefully, this will be something that I can do once, maybe twice a month and keep you updated. Obviously, if nothing's going on, I'm not going to do a video about it. But if something does, there is some activity and something that I think of interest, you guys can let me know in the comments if you want us to keep doing this. I'm not one of those guys that's going to be out there every day filming everything that happens. It's not my nature, and it's really not a house build channel. I'm more of a little variety show. So anyway, thanks for all the folks that have subscribed recently. Welcome to the Old Dog family. I appreciate you just as I appreciate those that have been with me since day one. You guys are rock stars. All right, well, that's my little video. I tried to keep it short. I tried to keep it sweet and to the point. And we will, of course, as always, see you in the next video.